Yeah, thanks everyone for joining me here tonight. I appreciate it. Um, I got Rod Plumb here. Say hi to everyone, Rod.
Hey, what's happening, everyone? How you doing, Cat Eyes? Riding, everyone.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining me here. Appreciate it. Um, Rod, I wanted to get you on for a while because you know, I, I heard certain things, so I was quite concerned. So why don't you start from the beginning, if you don't mind?
Beginning of what?
Um, like what got you into alcohol and drugs and all that stuff?
All right, just a second.
Hey Julie, hey John, Bryden, Cat Eyes,
Hey, everyone. How you guys doing?
hey Kitty Kitty.
I'm in a quiet place. Damn wind.
Mm.
Oh man, let's see. I started drinking probably when I was about 16, 15, somewhere around then.
Mm. Oh hey Locksmith. Um, Thanks for joining us here tonight. Appreciate it. What got you into drinking?
My dad actually.
Oh
Yeah, my
really?
dad.
How did?
Yeah, he was a heavy alcoholic. So when I used to go over there and visit him, which would only be usually a few times a year, but I go over there. He was always the buy me a 12 pack or 6 pack, and let's hang out and drink. Got something in common. So that's
Mm.
how we related, I guess.
So that's a young age. I myself started when I was 14. So how should I say this exactly? You just accepted it, like you're okay with it.
Yeah, it was fun to me. My mom was completely against alcohol, drinking, or any of that stuff, and she grew up with alcoholic parents that had the sheriffs there pretty much every weekend or at least every month. And there's nothing but domestic violence her whole life growing up, so she hates it.
Um, was the booze the only thing that you ever got into, or?
Yeah. Over the years, probably when I was in my late 20s or so, that's when I started finding drugs. I used to smoke a little weed here and there back in the day, but I didn't really care too much about that. Still don't at all. But then you start finding things like friends bringing cocaine, and then years later, crystal meth, and then it just kind of keeps moving on and moving on. So it all starts with alcohol originally. So you meet friends that are drunks, alcoholics, and then you hang out with all them, and then things just kind of move on, I guess. So
Yeah.
I did crystal meth for a good 4 or 5 years. Started out kind of slow off and on, and then ended up just being my life, which was sad. So
How old were you when you started doing like the crystal meth and all that stuff?
uh, cocaine was probably late teens, early 20s, but that was just occasionally, basically just to keep drinking, and then so you don't pass out. And then wasn't until like my late 20s when I finally found out. So I started doing a lot of meth, especially when I started smoking it. That's when it really went downhill.
Yeah, like so you basically use one drug habit to support another drug habit.
Yep, yeah, that's how it goes, unfortunately. Mm.
Huh. That must like when did you find out like your when did you find out you hit rock bottom, or have you yet?
Oh God, ruined relationships, ruined family. Thank God I still talk to them, and then ruined my life. Lost my job because of it. I used to work for the city out here. Lost my job because of it. Just too high all the time to even go in. And then
You work
what's that?
you work for the city.
Yeah, I used to work for the city out here for a while, and then the drug thing just kind of overtook everything. So that was kind of the end of that. Ended up homeless, living in a couple friends' garages or on their couches for quite a long time. And my poor mom was completely heartbroken, so I could hardly even talk to her about anything. So it was
Um,
tough times, depression. All comes down to depression and loneliness. So
yeah, I could relate to that, and I think you kind of know that by now.
yes,
Um, with the booze, like how bad is your drinking?
it's always off and on. Depends on my mood and depends on how things are going in my life. So, like when my baby's mom was pregnant, I quit drinking for months. I mean, I still occasionally go to a friend's house and have a couple, but I wouldn't come home being drunk or anything. She was pregnant and you know, always make her sick. So took quite a bit off
Mhm.
of time then, but then after that, she liked to drink. So as soon as she quit breastfeeding and stuff, it was right back on with our drinking. So and she drinks just as much as me, if not more, and pills on top of that and everything else. So it was tough.
So your life was basically surrounded by booze and drugs.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone I know to this day still drinks. I only know a couple people that don't, and I don't really hardly ever talk to them because they probably don't want to hang out with us because of it.
Um,
Unfortunately.
have you quit before or tried to quit before or no?
Yeah, I quit for a while, quit for a couple months or something, and then it's usually back on again.
Huh.
This
Okay,
cycle.
going back to your younger age there, like when you were drinking, like what was that like life wise?
It was fun when I was back when I was young. It was fun. I had a blast. But
But as
ends up
years
being
progress,
it's just a social thing, you know. You go out drinking with your friends, go out to the bar, go out to parties or whatever. You're drinking, but then eventually you notice you're just sitting at your house by yourself, miserable and depressed, sitting there drinking by yourself. So, or doing
yeah,
drugs. Doing drugs was really hard. Sitting there by myself. Uh,
yeah, like I could understand why like being depressed and lonely it makes you want to do something like that.
mm-hmm.
You know, like I've been down that road before, not with the drug. Well, booze is a drug, actually.
It is.
You know, so I've been down that road before many of times. You know, and it's not a pleasant feeling. In all honesty, it really isn't.
No, no, it isn't at all. It starts getting a hold of you after a while. You think you're cool, you just do it here and there, you know, "Yeah, I'm good. And then it just ends up to you need it to wake up, you need it to go to work, you need it to do anything. And that's all you end up doing. So when I
Yeah,
don't have, when I don't have it, I felt like I was dying, like literally. It was so hard. It took me 3 months off of meth to finally start feeling normal again. When all your serotonin finally starts coming back as best it can, probably still never come back like it's supposed to, but it's tough. You know, that's why people move on from snorting it to shooting it or smoking it to shooting it and then just moves on to bigger and better things, I guess you could say. And because you just can't, you just keep trying to chase that high that makes you feel better. And even though a year or two goes by and you're still not feeling better doing it, you just keep doing it. So I guess that's
yeah.
the thing. So yeah,
CLB's comment there. She says that alcohol is the worst depressant. I believe it is.
yeah, yeah, it really is. It can be definitely.
Um, when you would drink though, like, did you experience any low parts of your life? Like, oh, go ahead.
No, no, I was saying any low parts.
Yeah, like you just felt like, why am I doing this?
Oh yeah, yeah, all the time. Yeah, all the time. I mean, I'm good when I'm having a six pack or something when I'm chilling, but when it starts turning into sitting there in the garage by myself or in a room by myself, just sitting there drinking all night, I'm killing a 30 pack. It gets pretty sad. I'm like, why? And then the next morning I feel terrible. I'm like, why did I do that to myself? But the only way to make yourself feel better is just start doing it again. So about the only thing that keeps me sober as I can be now is just working because I work so damn much. So and my daughter, of course, I won't do that around her.
Uh, Big Catcher says it can be intoxicants and impact people in different ways.
Yeah,
It
I can.
it's true. I could see that to a certain extent. You know, like when I would drink, I was mostly like a serious drinker, like a quiet drinker.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
and, you know,
I just I
go
just
ahead.
become an obnoxious asshole when I drink too much, which is so sad because I drive people away.
Yeah,
But
I was a combination of things. Like, depending on my surroundings. You know,
yeah,
like if I was around certain people that I liked, I was quiet. I had fun. If I was around certain people I didn't like, yeah, I'll be honest, I was an asshole. I was drunk. You know.
yeah, yeah. That's what hard liquor does to me. I haven't drank any really hard liquor in a lot of years, except about a month or two ago. I had like two margaritas, but and that was for
Yeah.
breakfast, and they were delicious. I got to admit, but I know when to stop on that stuff because it makes me really, really, it makes me a terrible person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could relate. LB says in the moment while using it's different, but it creates so much anxiety and depression in the morning or between drinking. It gets bad in time. And
Yeah,
she's
it
right.
does. It does. I know when I'm at work sometimes, and especially when I'm having like a stressful day, I'm just wanting to get home just so I can crack open a beer. That's my first thing when I walk to the door, crack that beer open, you know? So,
Yeah, like what was your poison?
any kind of cheap light beer usually.
Or you drink the light beer?
Yeah, yeah. PBR or just light beer, whichever. Something cheap and that gets the job done. Guinness is actually my favorite, but it doesn't get you drunk enough because it's only like 4% and it's expensive, so I don't drink that too often.
Oh, so I would drink like the 7% stuff.
Yeah, I've drank some of that too bad. Like the IPAs, I can't drink those anymore because they do almost the same thing as the as hard booze and shit does. It just messes me all up.
Yeah,
So,
like I would drink the 40 ounces.
oh yeah, I used to drink all that back in the day. The Mickeys and the 8 Ball, all that stuff. St. Ives. That's what I was drinking when I was a teenager and in my early 20s. Started out with buying 2 a night and having fun, and then eventually we're buying 6 and 7, and then moving on to 30 packs. Or at least 24 packs. I think they had back then. I don't think they had 30 packs, but yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Kitty. Appreciate it. Um, FC, I disagree. It's not being exploited. It's trying to help other people. I disagree with that. It's trying to help other people that could use the help. Rod, what do you think about that?
What was the comment again? I missed that. Sorry.
The one from Fake Catchers, like, or he's like, I can sometimes appreciate these
Oh,
conversations, but I also see people being exploited, community for drug abuse. It's not exactly exploitation. Like, Rod chose to come up here. Like, I didn't force him or anything, did I?
no, you just promised me a wrench, you son of a bitch. So you better give it to me.
No, you
Just
got it.
kidding. Just kidding.
But no, but the reason why I do these, one, because I'm a recovering alcoholic myself.
Mm-hmm.
Two,
Yep.
I know there's other people out there similar to me. And three, they have their stories to tell, and hopefully they could help other people that might need it or are afraid to admit to it.
Exactly. I've never stepped foot in an AA meeting my entire life. I've had people tell me a bunch of times, but I just can't step foot in there.
Yeah. Um, like who got you into the other drugs though?
Just friends hanging out with other people that are doing it. It's like you don't have too much else going on in life, and it's like, man, why not? You know. And like I said,
Yeah.
everything was always kind of off and on growing up, even in my teens. Dabble with stuff here and there when people had it, but then later on, when it was like you're around some hardcore drug addicts, you start doing that all the time too. So
Yeah.
a lot of my friends for a long time were just tweakers. That's all they were
Mm-hmm.
for many, many years. So, most of them are either dead, locked up, disappeared, haven't heard from them since. And I got about 2 or 3 that have like completely changed their life and are doing great now, which is awesome. Especially living out here in this town. We're like in the high desert of LA County, so it's built up a lot now, but back in the day there wasn't really anything to do out here. It's just kind of a desert, not much going on, punk rock shows here and there, and not too much else. So we all found like a little community and we'd all hang out. And then I just end up going towards the people that drank and do drugs. Just thought it was fun.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Fake catchers, like I wasn't talking about Rod. I was referring to people having uh panels when folks are losing their marbles, thinking about GT Colfax. But let's carry on. Oh,
Oh, I gotcha.
yeah. You recognize this guy?
Yes,
Chris,
yes, I did.
what's up, Wish?
What's up, Chris?
Julie's like, I've always traded one addiction for another.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
See, I never got into those other drugs. For me, I always stuck with the booze.
Yeah, my problem is I would do crystal meth and still drink on top of it. So I go get myself a case of beer, smoke a couple bowls of meth, and stay up all night getting hammered drunk. And you don't sleep, you don't pass out like most people would. You're just up and on one. There's no way you can sleep. And I always thought that was fun. I had a great time on it. So until till a day or two later, and it's not so much fun.
Thanks, Ken. I always appreciate it. What John said, he's like, anyone who can get back up and dust themselves off and keep going as a champion.
Yeah, that's true. Like I said, there's only a few of my friends that have moved on and have done that. It's good to see them do
Yep.
that.
Wish is like, what's good, Rod?
Hey, what's happening?
Yeah. Hey, Damon, how's it going, brother?
Hey, what's happening, man?
Um, like, what do you say? What do you think is more worse for you, the booze or the drugs? The other drugs, I mean.
Well, the drugs I've quit. I haven't touched a drug in since my wife was pregnant. So it's probably been about 5.5 years. I haven't touched a drug since, except for alcohol. So I guess alcohol would probably be the worst.
Yeah, the boo that kind of makes sense. Like
Yeah,
it destroys a lot of lives.
yeah, it does. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go home and drink, 6 pack and chill, relax, or maybe get a 12 pack, and then the next morning I wake up and it's like there's a that's not the 12 pack I bought yesterday. In fact, that's an 18 pack, and there's only two left in it. So I drank like a 12 pack and all that. I'm like, holy shit. Having one of those nights, I guess.
Mm,
And then when you hear the next day from people how you're acting or whatever, or just kind of bits and pieces of the memory from the night before is really horrible, especially when it's your loved one. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, yeah, that hurts the most. So
Okay, Chris is like, Rod is the guy that I should have had on. White guy, or what's your story? I mean, I'm surprised I
yeah,
never asked.
me and Terrence are just talking about what's your story and his stuff he was doing, man. I haven't seen you do that in a little while.
Well, Chris is suddenly retired.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it, and thanks for joining me here
What's
tonight.
good, Bill? How you doing? Hey,
Um,
thank you everyone for being on here, man.
yeah,
It means a lot.
yeah, appreciate it. Fake catchers like good for you, Rod. One step at a time. LB's like, I've heard beating meth is one of the hardest to overcome. I was lucky to never get into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Alcohol is the worst overall, even over over hard stuff, and it's true.
Beer's
Um,
always there. Alcohol is always there. It's a block or two down the street. They're always open. They sell it to you. You don't have to do nothing. It's just there. So anytime you feel bad and you're feeling, or happy or whatever, there's a store right there to get it from. Drugs can be a little harder to get, especially if you haven't been in the scene in a while. So
yeah, like I live 5 minutes away from my liquor store, So as soon as I step out of my place, it's like right
yeah,
there.
yeah, there's one on every corner out here, man. That and a smoke shop. They're on every corner.
Yeah. John's like, Rod, we're here to support you.
Yeah, thank you, John. Good people, man.
Uh, Kitty's like, Rod has been around for a bit now. It takes a real person to look and see they're wrong. Thank you, Rod.
Yeah, Kitty's good people, man. She's OG.
Rod is throwing down real hard facts. Yes. Um. So, how old? Okay, you're what? 16. You said you started, right?
Yeah, it's probably 15 or 16. Yeah,
And
probably a little
how old are
younger
you
actually. Actually, now that I think about it, it was probably more like 14 because I remember going to Mexico with my dad, and I think I was 13 or 14, and we were drinking there the whole damn time. And he would always be like, "Just don't tell mom," and I never did. Still haven't to this day. He's dead now. But if he was still alive, she'd kill him.
now? So, but you've been drinking the majority of your life then.
Oh yeah, yeah, most of it. Yeah, off and on. Yeah,
Um.
especially when I wasn't working. When I wasn't working, I would drink constantly all day, man. You wake up at 6, 7, 8 in the morning, whatever time, and go get a 12 pack and start drinking all day with friends or whatever. It is normal. It just seems normal after a while because everyone else around does it, and I like it, so it's just a normal thing to do. And it's not normal at all. It shouldn't
No,
be
it's
anyway.
not.
Mm.
Always enjoy TC's streams. I gotta get back to work, but I'll be listening. Thank you for sharing your story, Rod. Much love
Hey,
to all
thank
the
you,
crew.
Damien. Thanks for
And
being
thank
here,
you,
brother.
Damone. Thank you, Damone. Really appreciate you being here, brother. And have a good one. Um, okay, Sarah's like, thank you, Rod, for being here and sharing your story. These stories touch people and help many.
Thank you,
Uh,
sir.
yeah, thank you, sir, for being here. Yeah, one of the reasons I really wanted to talk to you because I told you this. I was talking to Nate the other night, and he was telling me, about his situation. And during our conversation, he brought up you.
Yeah.
Like you said, you've been like this for over a year that he knew of.
Oh yeah.
And I'll be honest, I was quite concerned about you because you said when you're depressed, you really shouldn't mix it with the booze. It's not a good
No.
combination.
Oh no, it's not a good combination at all. And sometimes it picks me up and makes me feel better and I end up having a good night. Other times it goes completely opposite. It's like a 50-50 right there. You never know. But and I'm not a gambling man, but I guess I kind of am when it comes to that.
Read Julie's comment. She's like, "You're a very brave, Rod."
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you again, Damone. Appreciate it, brother. And just keep being stronger, Damone. I know you could do it. I'm not sure if Bryden's in the chat still or not. If he is, Bryden, you're welcome to join us. But when did you like? What was the most you ever had, booze wise, like in one night?
Oh God, I couldn't even remember because I was probably so hammered. Let's see. Saturday night I had 24, but I got home from work about 1:32 o'clock, so there was nothing else to do, so I just drank all damn night. But yeah, I drank a lot more than that. Trust me.
Chris is like, I don't care what anyone says. Nate is good. Yes, he is.
Yeah,
It's a really good guy.
He's good people.
Yeah, and he's definitely a friend of mine. So he's one of the good ones. So are
I
you,
was supposed
Wish?
to meet up with Nate a couple times, but I was always stuck either work or doing family stuff, so I wasn't able to make it. But when he do catches with Alex down in LA or just get done, he was like, dude, let's go hang out. And I just couldn't make it. I felt bad. I wanted to go hang out.
Yeah. John was like, I've been concerned about you too, Rod. Terrence and I have spoken depth about it. Yeah, John was worried about you too. All right, Brian's like, still here, TC. I'll come up in a bit, okay?
Cool, thanks, Brian.
Christy's like, I've done stupidest things drunk.
Christy, tell me about it. Tell me about it. And I've done that a couple times myself too. I'll just leave it at that.
But you've heard her on here before how she overcame her drinking.
Did I what? I'm sorry.
You heard her on here before how she overcame her drinking.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think I missed that one.
Huh, I'll have to show it to you.
Yeah, definitely.
John's like, Nate's an awesome guy. Yes, he is. LB's like, I've had to give up my money and because the grocery shopping was so triggering. Alcohol aisle. Okay. Did you ever choose booze over food anytime or no?
Oh, I have. Hell yeah. Yeah, beer and cigarettes comes first for anything.
Hey, what's going on, Bill? Pulling your strings. Yeah, with the booze, did the booze has control over you though, right?
Yeah, it definitely does. I'll tell you that. Yeah, it's always been my best friend and my worst enemy. Never know.
Yeah, exactly. I could totally see it that way. Like it was always like I'm going to say this, and booze for me, like when I would turn around, it was always there for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's always been a friend, I guess I could say. Not a very good one, I guess, but a friend.
Yeah. But with the booze, though, it's hard to break, though, isn't it?
Yes, it's very hard when I go out somewhere. Go like you were saying, you go to the grocery store, it's there. I go to buy a pack of cigarettes at the liquor store, it's there. It's just there all the time, And anytime I hang out with friends, it's hey, you drink some beers. Oh, we want to go to the bar and do this. Oh, you want to go to the show in there? And there's a bar there, So it just makes it really easy. Like yeah. And we can do that. And then wake up the next morning somewhere weird sometimes. Or even scarier is I get to my house. Apparently, I don't remember driving home, and my car's parked out there, and I'm like, I don't remember even driving home, which is pretty terrifying and scary to everyone else around me. So, but that's happened quite a few times. I'll just leave it at that. It's been a while, but yeah.
Hey TC, hey Rod.
Hey,
How you
buddy,
doing?
how's it going?
Not bad. Got invited up here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
right.
you.
I
Exactly.
just wanted to
doing
tell you,
okay.
Rod, you're not alone, man. There are so many of us out here that we have that daily struggle, man, and
Yeah, thank you, man.
it's really hard.
It is.
Um, I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I say recovering as in the last time I took a drink was actually 2 days ago.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I shouldn't have. It's been a couple weeks before that. I was good for a couple weeks, and then fell off the wagon, and then was good for maybe a week or two before that. And
Yeah. That sounds like my life right there. I stopped for a week or a couple days, and it's back on. So.
yeah, and I keep telling myself, hey, I'm not going to do it, and I'll wake up feeling
Yep.
good. And
Yeah, mine is I'll just have 4 or 5 and I'll be done. I'll be good. But it doesn't happen like that. I just keep
yeah, mine
drinking.
is just one. Hey, I just see that one little shot, and hey, like I can do that. And
It's like a potato chip. You can't have just one. Come on.
no, you can't, man. You open up that bag of Pringles, they're gone.
Yeah, exactly.
You said that
Oh,
right.
hey, Chrissy, if you're still in the chat, you're welcome to join us too if you like.
But alcohol was always my go-to. I got involved in drugs when I was a lot younger too, but fortunately I got out of it.
Mhm.
And but it was always the alcohol is just something that I was never able to really step away from. And
Yeah, same here.
just for one reason or another, it's just like you guys were saying. I mean, I got a store 10 houses down the street from me, and then I'm always on the road and pretty much always at work, and I subcontract, so it's pretty much up to me what I do during the day. I don't have a boss,
Mm-hmm.
so it makes it worse, and so that availability is just always there, and it's like a big thorn in my side, but it's one of those ones that kind of itches, if that makes sense. You wiggle it around a little bit, it feels better. You try to pull it all the way and it hurts.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one. I hear you.
So Brian, how's it going with you? Like with your drinking now?
It's a lot better. Like this year, man, is probably my best year in probably 30 years, 35 years. So, I mean, I know I've made a lot of good progress, but I'm not where I want to be. That's for sure. And I need to, concentrate a little bit more, maybe try to, there's an Al-Anon club at the corner up here I used to be a member of. I think I'm maybe try and go back and, whenever I get that little urge, maybe instead of hitting up a party store or something after work, I just go in there and have myself a coffee,
Okay, I'm gonna shoot some hard facts here for you guys. Okay, Rod, how old are you again?
45.
All right, the way that you're going right now in life, do you think you'll see 50?
I hope I see 50. But
us too.
Yeah, I don't think I'm literally completely killing myself with it, but yeah, definitely take it to the extreme sometimes. It's not an every night too. Like a week or two will go by, maybe a week or two, and then I'll keep it cool. Just drink some, chill. But as you guys probably see me on this chat, sometimes I'm pretty fucking shit faced and probably being ridiculous. I don't really remember, but
yeah. But the reason why I asked, like, the lifestyle that you live, it's going to catch up to you eventually.
Yeah, it will.
And Brian, how old are you again?
54.
Do you think you'll see 60?
Yes. Yes. I have it in my mind. I mean, no, if I was to continue drinking, then probably not. No. So it's one of the main factors why I slowed down. And when you're young, you always think, well, hey man, I'm invincible. I'm young. I'm never gonna get old. And then next thing you know, you blink your eye and it's 20 years down the road. And it's so.
And it goes by so fast, man. Last
It
thing I
does.
remember, I was 30 years old. Last thing I remember. And bam, now I'm
Exactly.
45. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
the only reason I
alcohol
think I'm still
does
alive right now, the only reason I think I'm still alive right now is because of my daughter. When I found out my daughter was, when my wife was pregnant and what's happened to her, I was like, I got to make some goddamn life changes and decisions in life. So finally
But
went
did
out and found
you,
myself a real job, full-time job, and which I'm happy to be doing that. It keeps me busy, and I have to take care of her. You know what I mean? So, and when I'm around her, I don't drink like I do when I'm by myself at all. I'll have some, but what happens if she falls down and hurts herself, or she gets sick? I have to take her to the emergency room. So that's what goes through my head. But not having her around for the last 6 months is just brought me back down to how I used to be. I think I just come home and there's nothing here, so I just sit here and drink all night. And watch Predator catching channels, of course.
Yeah.
but you both have kids though, right?
Yes, sir. A lot of them.
Don't you think you should quit because of them or for them, I should say?
Yeah. I don't have an excuse. I'll just come right out and say it. I don't. I really don't have an excuse. It's alcohol has such a bite on people sometimes that you don't think, you react. And you wake up in the morning, that's pretty much all you can think about. You can't wait to get off of work. Or there was a point where I would just go to work to get drunk.
Yes, I hear
you. And it's really horrible. It's one of the most underrated drugs in the world. It's every country has it. It's readily available. It's legal everywhere. So I just, it's pretty much underestimated.
Yeah, like, don't you want to see your kids grow up?
Well, of course
I do.
Yeah, but do you really think that's going to happen if you continue drinking the way you do? Like,
I think I'll still be alive, but I don't want to be a mess and want her to see me being a mess, because I grew up with my dad being a mess. And it's sad.
Same here.
It's so sad to see, man. It's sad. He used to go through a box of wine, because that's what he was cheap, so that's what we'd buy. He'd go through like a box of wine a night, especially on the weekend, man. He would just be so drunk. He'd start at like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning and just drink and drink and drink and drink and just be so shitty by the end of the night, talking shit, wanting to fight, and just all this stuff. And it was horrible. And then I just ended up being the same way. So it's pretty sad. And it's my fault. I'm not blaming it on nobody. But
yeah, I was more of the responsible alcoholic, or what they call a functioning alcoholic.
Yeah, that's what I am.
I'd go to work, I'd pay the bills, but I'd always seem to sneak in that drunk,
Yeah.
and try to hide it, or I'd sneak beers out in the garage, or half pints or pints of liquor, and it got to the point where I actually didn't want to do it anymore, and then I'd stopped myself, and it wasn't it wasn't really so much that I didn't want to, or I did want to, was the fact that I knew that it was going to kill me if I didn't. So like what you were saying there, TC, and that made me think twice about it. And I guess man, some people, they can realize that, the first moment that they realize they're starting to become an alcoholic. Other people, it takes them 30 years before they realize that it's killing them, and that was my issue. It probably because I didn't drink every day. I would drink, 2-3 times a week, but I would try to hide it. I would try to keep it under wraps, which never, of course, happened. I was always found out. It just takes one smell of the breath and you're hit. Everybody knows. But yeah, that's how I used to be.
Yeah, hang on a second. LB's like, I used to go to work with my dad in 90s construction. They were drinking by lunch and for the day, and these were big state jobs. It used to be normal and acceptable. LB, I read your previous comment too, and I'm sorry to hear about that. With the booze, like, Brian, you don't have it under control. Neither do you, Rod. You think you do, but you don't.
No, I know I don't.
Yeah, I know I don't either.
Yeah, like, do you remember what I said to you before, Brian? I said, what if I told you I went back to drinking? What did you tell me?
Oh, I told you I'd be pissed, man. I said a few things to you.
Yeah, you've been
Yeah,
sober for so long, man. Don't go back to that. Goddamn.
Right.
yeah. I know I'm not, but I'm trying to help you both to make sure, make you guys see it from my point of view. Like the booze isn't worth it. It really isn't. It's going to kill you. Like when I asked you, I said, will you think you'll see 60 and 50 respectively? You both said yes. I hope you both do. But if you continue like going down that path, you're going to have complications.
Of course.
Yeah, same with my smoking. My best friend, I think, has throat cancer, but she's too goddamn scared to go to the doctor and find out. She already knows what the hell she's got, and she probably does. But she chain smokes 3 packs a day, and it's sad.
Obi's like, I don't think any long-term alcoholics think it's controlled. Most have been through enough, but it's a compulsion. It's true.
It is.
I'm
You
going to
see,
be
a lot of the times that I would start drinking, it was like it wasn't even a thought. It wasn't, like preordained or whatever. It's just like it happens instantaneously. I'll go in and go get a vape at the store, and there's a little shot, and I'd say, "Hey, yo, you let me get that." While I'm there, and then boom, there it is. That's how it was with me. I wouldn't start off the day thinking I'm going to drink today. Not many alcoholics do. They think it's sometimes in the back of their heads, or like Rod was saying, I can't wait till I get off of work so I can just go have that beer.
4:30, 5 o'clock, I'm like fiending sometimes, not all the time, but most of the time.
Yeah. I mean, there's all different types of alcoholics, and I don't know. I was a bad one. I mean, I see myself changing. I can tell the difference. I'm nowhere near what I used to be, but I still got a long ways to go. And with a little bit of, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for here?
a kick in the butt.
Yeah, self-assurance, more or less, man. Yeah, kick in the butt. Yeah, thanks, Terrence.
but yeah, like in all seriousness though, like when I used to drink, I was that type of person that would wake up one day and say, yeah, I am going to drink. It had a control of my life. Like I was burning bridges left and right.
Pulling the
And
strings, agreed.
and I was a complete asshole of a human being. I really was, and it was taking its toll on me. Like I was 39 and my body knew it was breaking down. So I had to quit. And that's a young age for that to happen, for when you feel your body's breaking down on you.
Yeah.
If I continue to go down that path, I probably wouldn't be alive. I'd probably be dead, close to death right now if I didn't quit. So I was a heavy drunk. I would drink a lot.
Yeah, especially being a party planner and stuff that you do. I can imagine you get a lot of free time on your hands, and there's a lot of alcohol at parties. So,
thank you, Damon. Appreciate it, brother. You're a great guy too. Love you, man. Hey Dominique, thanks for joining here tonight. Appreciate it. Like Brian, like you told me before that you said you're going to quit, but then you had that slip up. You're going to have other slip ups. It's going to happen eventually.
I hope not. I mean, I look at it like every day that I'm sober is one more day closer to being sober for the rest of my life. And I try to think one day at a time. And hopefully it's just going to get better and better and better, and then I'll never be able to touch it again. I'll never want to touch it again. It's just it's really hard getting to that point. Especially without help. A lot of people think, hey, you can do this by yourself. Well, the truth of the matter is that most of us can't. We need a little support. We need a push in the right direction. We need other people that have been around it, and have come off of it successfully. I guess that's just the way I look at it.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it. And thanks for joining us here tonight. MS Triple X, appreciate it. Yeah, so Rod, Bryden, I want you to know that you're not alone in this. You're not. I know there's that kind of mentality that you think that you are, but truthfully, you're not.
I know I wouldn't be up here spilling my guts if I didn't know that, man. You know,
Yeah.
it's because I could I consider everybody in this community my friends. Pretty not well, you know, acquaintances, but I like everybody. I mean, I had disagreements with certain people here and there, man, but you know, in the long run, I think those are all over with. But I can't really say a negative thing about anybody here, and I would hope the same for them. And you know, if we just like pull together and have each other's backs, we can overcome a lot of stuff. You know, no matter what people are going through, as long as we have somebody to turn and talk to about it, you know, that makes a hell of a difference.
It does. It means a whole lot.
It's true, but okay, Brian, I want to ask you this first. What makes you want to drink?
I don't even know. I couldn't tell you. My wife asked me that all the time. Lisa would be like, you know, what you made that choice to drink. You made that choice. And I'd be like, yeah, I did. And I'll hear why. And I'm like, I don't have an answer. I really don't know. I couldn't tell you, man.
Just life for me. It's tough. It's fun. It's hard though.
Yeah. LB's like, I really don't want to think anyone else can hold up accountable. If you don't want to stop this one that's so available, you're not going to stop unless you want to. Then the support is super helpful. Yeah, I could totally see that. Julie's like, we like you too, Brian. Rod,
Thanks.
same question to you. Why do you choose to drink?
Like I said, I think it's just life. I don't know. Been doing it my whole life, so it's what I still do. I guess I'm not really exactly sure. It's the thing that makes me happy, although it doesn't always. At least I think it makes me happy. Although
Thanks,
sometimes I'm
Ghost.
not. Hey, thank you, Ghost Man.
Hey, thanks, CC. Appreciate you being here, brother. Oh, wow, CC Units here. That's really cool. But okay, how should I say this? Like, when I would drink, I drank because I was depressed. You know, I felt alone. I drank to numb the pain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, did you guys ever experience any of that? Or
Oh,
no?
all of that. So I said life. I just blame it.
Yeah.
It's life.
Yeah. So how
All
about
the
you,
ups and
Brian?
downs and happinesses and sadness of life is what I think has started it and is still doing it. So and just myself in general. So definitely myself. But started it. Hey, I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Just 1 minute.
Okay.
No problem.
Brian, like, I know you have it in you to quit.
Definitely.
You know, and I'm hoping that you do. Like, you got to think about the future. You know, like, don't you want to see your kids grow up? Like, like the booze is going to control you, as I said earlier. You know, Bill says we drink to escape or relax. Yeah, I agree with him on that. For me, I would always drink to escape, never to relax, though.
Yeah, for me, it just started out just drinking to have fun, you know, to get along with everybody else, and you know, I grew up around a lot of bands and music and stuff like that, and concerts, and that was a thing, you know. And then I love to shoot pool, and in order to do that, you're always at a bar, you know. And then that just it kind of turned into drinking outside of the bar, you know. And it just goes from there. And then next thing you know, you're sitting alone in your garage, hiding beer, hiding liquor, drinking by yourself, and then you feel all depressed about it, and then it goes from there and just gets worse.
Yeah, I spent my whole life going to punk rock shows out here. That's what I spent my whole life around, and about 99.9% of them were complete alcoholics and drug addicts. So that's what I grew up around my
Yep.
entire
Yeah,
life.
Same here.
it's the environment, but at the same
Mhm.
time, too, though, it's as who we are as people that we choose to go down that path. Like I grew up with like a bunch of family members that would drink, and I guess because they did it, I did it.
Now with me, I just drank until the point. See, I didn't realize that I was an alcoholic for probably 10 years. I didn't realize. I didn't even think about it. It was just something that we did daily,
Yeah,
And then after a while, that's when I noticed, hey, something's going on here, And then you get arrested for it, and then the next thing you know, it's just like, well, I don't care, You're just gonna go out and do it again, and of course went out and did it again, and
Bill.
then you get a drunk driving, then you get two drunk drivings, then you get three drunk drivings, then you're threatened with prison, and it's a never ending battle, So
yeah. Like I hate to say this, but you two do need a wake up call, big time, in my opinion. I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that, but you two do need a wake up call.
I
You guys,
force that wake up call on myself there, Terrence, every day, man.
Mhm.
yeah. Because the sad fact is, none of us are getting any younger.
True.
Yep.
Bill's comment right here is like, when I was younger, I drank to party.
What do you mean younger, Bill?
I just heard a joke. I'm not talking about your comment. Don't worry.
But I could elaborate on Bill's comment there. Like throughout my 20s, I would party, like anyone else in their 20s would, and then I would start to party in my 30s, and then next thing I know, I'm 39. I'm still partying. I'm partying like with people that are just starting out to party in their early 20s,
Mhm.
which was kind of weird and creepy at the same time and wrong. Yeah, I was pushing 40. I'm like, here's a 40-year-old guy that's still partying at clubs.
Yep.
Yeah, I had a ex that was with the time, and she had a comment to me one night, and I'll never forget it. And it was a few other things before this. I don't really remember because I was probably drinking. But the one thing that stuck in my head was all you care about in life is your alcohol, your friends, and your soccer. And I couldn't even argue with her because that's all I cared about. And that was still heartbreaking to hear to this day because I never forgot her saying that.
Yeah.
And she won't talk to me to this day.
Rod, like with your booze though, like when was the last time you touched one?
About 5 minutes ago.
Oh, 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
See, why though? Like, what made you choose to do that?
It's just what I do when I come home from work.
So it's a routine basically that you do, or you have.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's just 2 or 3. Sometimes it's 23. You never know. Depends on my mood, I guess.
So you think you could break that routine, or?
I have in the past, but I always end up jumping back in it, especially when life isn't going so good. When things are good and everything's happy and everything's going great, I don't really care about it. I don't really think too much about it. But when things start, not going too good, it's well, let me go get some beer.
How did you
numb that?
Yeah. How did you do that before though?
What's that?
Break that routine.
I was happy.
Okay, so it was the environment that you're in.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Does your daughter make you happy in life?
Oh yeah, definitely. She's my 100. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And I was good when I was around her, but since we have broken up and I only get to see her a couple times a week, the sitting around here by myself for those 2 weeks is pretty tough, and it's hard. And it's I just sit here and drink all night.
All right. So I'm a little confused here. You got split custody, right, with her?
Yes.
Okay. If you continue to go down that path though, like with the drinking and all that stuff, what's to stop her from getting full custody?
What's to stop me?
No, what's to stop your ex-wife from seeking full custody?
Oh, she's a bigger alcoholic than me. You think I'm bad? You should see her.
Yeah, but what if she does that though, just out of the blue, and you know, and she does get it, and you don't see your daughter, because of your booze.
Oh, I don't even want to think about that, but there's no reason for her to. I'm always been there. I've always been a good dad.
Okay, the reason why I asked, I'm going to follow up on that, is because you have the daughter there. You should just get rid of the booze altogether because of her. Be the bit better parent,
Yeah, definitely should. And like I said, I try not to drink much around her. If a lot of times not at all. There's just no reason to. I'm happy with her. We're doing stuff. We're going out, or we're going out to eat. We're going to the park and stuff. So I don't even think about it. But when I'm home by myself and she's not around and I have no family around, I just sit there and drink all night. That's awesome, Barb. Congratulations, man.
Rod, I've been clean from hard drugs.
Rod and Brian both.
I'm definitely here for you. If that's good. There, Barb, keep it up. One day at a time. Tatiana's like, I found a lot of addicts and alcoholics don't know their own worth. A lot of bad self-esteem about themselves. It's sad that they can't see themselves through someone.
Just want to clarify something real quick. Cat Eyes commented that it seems like that me and Rod just really don't want to stop. I really do. I've been trying. It's extremely hard. I don't know if you've ever battled with it or not. There was a point out there where I was drinking almost every single day to the point I was blacking out. I didn't remember anything from the day before. I'd wake up on the side of 8 Mile before, next to some bushes. I was that bad.
I woke up next to railroad tracks one night. Thank God I wasn't on them.
Yeah, and to the point now where, like I said, I've drank, I think, 4 times in the past month and a half or so. So, I mean, I am trying to stop. I do occasionally slip up. I don't want to drink anymore. I know that it's going to kill me. It's just every now and then something happens, but it's getting better and better. And like I said, hopefully one day it's just not going to be there anymore. Once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. Yes, I 100% absolutely agree with that.
Same here.
But it's just going to be that I don't want to do it anymore. And I wouldn't be up here on this panel if I didn't think that I wanted help, or if I didn't want to stop. I wouldn't even be here. Just saying.
Yeah. With the booze, like you said, Rod, you passed out on the tracks and
next to him. Thank God I wasn't on him.
Yeah. Thank God. And Brian, you passed out on 8 Mile.
Yep.
Yeah,
I woke up so many weird houses where you wake up at night and you just look around. You have no idea where you're at until later. I figured out it was at one of my friends' houses or some stranger's house or something. I just got so hammered. They were nice enough to let me sleep there. Thank God.
Yeah, I woke up in jail cells not knowing how the hell I got there before.
It's happened to me a couple times too. Trust me.
Yeah. See, I passed on an elevator one time. So.
An elevator?
Yep.
Oh, good.
Yep, passed out and was there for I don't know how long. I wake up and I see a bunch of people just looking at me like, uh-oh. And there'd be a few times where I passed out in my living room, and next thing I know, I wake up, I'm surrounded by my own puke. It's just it's disgusting. Like stuff like that. Thank you, Sammy, for being here. Appreciate it. Brian, I know you both you and Rod, you both have it in you to quit. I know that for a fact. You both can do it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, just thanks.
Yeah, but you have to think about the future. As I said earlier, we're not getting any younger. It's going to catch up to you.
Yeah, definitely. It already has.
It's something I know, man. It's there.
I'm not sure if you know who Kevin Nash is, but his son recently passed away because they made a deal to quit drinking together. And his son's in his early 20s. And so they made the deal to quit. And a week later, the son passed away.
Yeah, I heard that. That's terrible, man.
you know, because I think it was complications from the booze. You know, he had seizures and stuff.
Uh-huh.
You know, and I heard about that, and that scared the shit out of me. You know, it did. You know, like stuff like that, like the booze, it has a stranglehold on us. You know, when we don't think that it has. You know.
Bill.
Yeah. Or you wake up feeling a warm.
Thank God that's never happened to me.
I was going to say something, but I better not.
I woke up with a couple that kind of looked like a guy, but thank God they weren't.
I didn't say Colfax didn't invite you over, did he?
Lisa's like, if someone
I'm
goes
sorry,
from a
JT,
daily,
if you ever hear that, man.
yeah, if someone goes from a daily drinker to a once every few weeks drinker, they really are trying.
That is
They've done
good.
that for okay, that's good, Brian. That tells me you are putting the effort into it, but you're still hitting that brick wall. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But as I said, though, like I know you both have it in you to quit drinking. You know, like you're both worthy of it. You know, like you're both worthy in life. You know, like Rod, I know you got the depression. Same here. Like I'm still dealing with it, but I don't drink anymore. I've had those times where it does cross my mind, like, oh, you know, going back to drinking. You know, but then I choose not to. You know. Because I made a promise to myself. I said, if I ever went back to the booze, I'd be out of here, you know. Like I don't want to mix those two worlds together.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know. And Brian, with regards to you, again, that tells me that you are trying. You are trying, but you're kind of struggling like a bit still.
Oh, it's been like that for years, man. You know. But like I said, I'm the you know, I plan on keep on trying. It's you know, it's all I can do.
Yeah. But if you, oh, Rod, what are you drinking right now, though?
House Blue Ribbon.
Oh,
I know, it's pretty gross.
I had a buddy.
It does the job.
My best friend, he passed away last year. Mostly from alcohol use, and his favorite was PBR, man, and he called it steak in a can. He'd be like, "What are you having for dinner?" "I got steak in a can." You know, and that was his deal, man. He would just he would work, he'd come home, he'd crack open a beer, and he wouldn't stop until he went to sleep. Get up in the morning, repeat every day. But and he passed away at I think he was 46. So alcohol will take its toll on you. You know, I've seen my father pass away from it. I've seen my uncle pass away from it.
Tacoma's
Liver
like
cancer is painful. See
yeah.
my uncle in the bathtub filled with ice just to try to get rid of the pain. It's not a fun way to go
out. Tacoma Joe, I know you could quit too if you want to, you know. So I drink every day. I'm not going to lie. I can relate to what you guys are saying. Sometimes I want to quit. You definitely should. It's not worth it to keep drinking. It doesn't bring you nothing in life. It really doesn't. John's like, if you fall, you get back up.
Brings more depression over more than anything, I think.
You know what was really strange was the last time, like I said, just a few days ago or a couple of days ago, was the last time that I call it a relapse. It wasn't. It was actually the opposite of depression. I was extremely happy. I got a decent, well-paying job that I was going to make like $1,000 in about a day and a half's worth of work, and I was able to pay some bills, and I felt like I was on top of the world. And for one stupid reason or another, I went and got myself a couple little shots of liquor, and I didn't stop. And so, it's not just depression. Sometimes it could be anything. And I just thought that I had deserved a little drink. In the back of my mind somewhere, I think that's what I was telling myself. So I'm not gonna do that again. So next time I get a job like that, I'm coming straight home, going straight to the bank, put that money in, and go home.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hang on a second. We got a special guest.
Nevermore.
Hey, what's going on, Nevermore? Hey.
We lose Rob?
Or Rod? Yeah, Rod. I don't know what happened. Rod, try getting back up. Yeah, it brought Nevermore up, and I don't. Oh wait, hang on a second.
There he is.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, you did that. Okay, I thought
that was me.
All right, Nevermore, you are muted.
Nevermore? Come on, you've been on so many streams by now, so come on. Tatiana's like, my class, dyslexia, and was treated like he was dumb growing up. He is amazing at math and also talented with his hands, remodeling. He gives a shirt off his back and help need. Nevermore?
Hey, how y'all guys doing tonight?
What's up, Banjo Man?
What's going on, Nevermore? I'm surprised you're
here. Why are you surprised I'm here?
First time being here.
No, I've listened to your streams quite a bit. I can't understand you when you talk. It's that Canadian thing going on. Sometimes I don't understand what you're talking about.
Well, we don't say that. Oh, it's about.
Well, I've been listening, and I struggled with an alcohol problem, and I've been sober for about 5 years.
Nice. That's awesome, man.
I did the drinking things till where I'd black out. I've been there and done that. Woke up in my own room and didn't know where I was at. And I know what this struggle that Rod and Bryden are talking about. I've been there. I became what I like to think of as a high functioning alcoholic. I quit drinking to get drunk. I drank as medicine to keep me going. It reached that point that if I didn't have a drink, I could not function. And I quit 19 million times. I took my first drink, I was probably 14. I was playing music with a band, and they would kind of sneak me in the back door because of my age. But when folks would buy a round for the band, well, of course, I got my round. But I noticed trouble. And like I say, I've quit 19 million times. And the last time I quit, I've been quit for 5 years. I almost lost that a couple months ago, maybe 3 months ago. I had some family issues going on, and I really didn't want to deal with them. And I went and bought 2 fifths of vodka. And I'm like Colfax, I buy the bottom shelf stuff, but I never opened either one of them. I fought it as hard as I could, and I did not open them. They're sitting in a closet shelf right now. And so, guys, y'all can do this. Look, if I can do it, you can do it.
Yes, I can.
I have faith in you guys.
Thanks, man.
And I mean, I'm telling you that sincerely, Rod and Rod, because I mean, trust me, if I could do it, you guys can do it. If Terrence could do it, you guys can do it. You know, we're not the exceptions to the rule or anything. You know. And I just wanted to come up here and give you guys a little bit of support. Plus, I was glad to find out Rod is a true redneck drinking Pat's Blue Ribbon. I don't feel like I'm not the only redneck in the community. I found that out, and I'm happy to say that. But seriously, guys, I mean, I know it's a hard fight. Trust me, I can tell you it's a hard fight. I fight it constantly, but you can do it. But,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Nevermore. Congratulations on 5 years of being sober.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's probably been 6 years. I really didn't count I don't know what day it was I quit, but I know I haven't gone back, and I know it's been at least 5 years, and I do not want to go back. That is a struggle I don't want to go back to, because it's not easy to quit. It's much easier to take a drink than it is to quit.
Brian, I got a feedback on your end.
Yeah, that's called a kid.
Yeah, Nevermore for me, it'll be 3 years next month.
There you go. Good job.
Thank you. Like, I'll be honest, like for years, like I didn't think I was able to do it, but I did because I had to. Like, as I said, my body was breaking down on me. That's why I had to quit.
I understand that. I'll guarantee you, if I hadn't quit, I'd be dead now. And there were times when I was drinking and when I was trying to quit, I think I would have welcomed death. You know, I never was, not to the point I wanted to kill myself. I just felt so bad and so run down. Yeah, I think I would have welcomed death a couple of times, at least. And for any of you who play music and you think you play better when you're drunk and high, you do not. You play worse. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you just seem to think you do. That's all.
Yep.
Julie, I did it on my own. I quit cold turkey.
Julie, I did it the same way.
Yeah, like as I said, like my body was telling me, is like, yeah, enough is enough. You know, and I never felt like that before.
That's how it was with the drugs with me, man. It was tough. I just had to take off, move to a good friend's house that was sober and clean. He drank, and I used to drink with him a lot, but he was off the drugs. He used to do crack, meth, pretty much anything he could get his hands on for years. He sobered up and changed his life, so I ended up moving in with him. And then, like I said, it took me a few months before I felt normal, but drinking helped me get off the drugs, I guess you could say. I just moved on from one to another. So.
Yeah, but see, now you gotta get rid of the drinking.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Julie. Appreciate it. Like as I said, like Rod, Brian, like even Nevermore said himself, like you two have it in you to quit, you know, and we believe in it, you know.
Well, I'm like Brian. Terrence. I quit cold turkey, and I've never done an AA meeting. Matter of fact, I don't even know where they would meet at down here. Crap, where I live at, they probably don't have AA meeting.
Second mountain on the left, man.
There you go. Is that where it is? Oh, me. But if you have it in you to start, you have it in you to quit.
Well said.
And like I tell you guys, if I could do it, you can do it. Yep, Rod, you're gonna make it. Rod, you're gonna make it. You're gonna get there.
I hope so, man. I can't. I just can't do it no more. I got to that point where I knew that it was gonna get me. And maybe it took me that long, but I'm here now. So I guess that's all that matters to me is trying to do it now.
Frog was like, my adopted brother was an AA, couldn't beat his battle, got in an argument with his wife and their anniversary, went drinking, went with his parents' house that night, he hung himself in the garage. Oh my God.
Oh, man. Jesus, sorry about that, man.
Hey, sorry,
So
Frogger.
sorry there, Frogger.
And Rod and Rod, if y'all ever get to the point where you're thinking about doing something like that, reach out to me. Call me. I'll talk to you.
And reach out to me too. You know that, right, Brian? Right, Rod?
Yeah, I know.
And I just want y'all to understand, and I truly mean that. And I think TC does too. I mean, we want to see you guys not having the problem.
Yeah, I was never one to even think about contemplating anything like that,
Good.
So, but I've seen suicide firsthand.
Brian, I told you before, I would drink because I wanted to die at times,
Yeah, see, I've never been like that. I just drank because I couldn't help it, I mean, I could help it, but I didn't want to help it.
Yeah, I used to have the suicidal thing going on me back in the day occasionally, but having my daughter has changed all that. I mean, God forbid if something happened to me, she'd probably be blaming herself for the rest of her life because I know friends that are like that. They think it's their fault for many, many years.
To think.
So I would never ever do that. So.
Frog was like he couldn't overcome his battle. When we were close, he knew I talked to him and helped him stay sober. Tatiana was like, I believe every one of you can beat your alcoholism. You're stronger than you think and can do it if you want to. Bad enough for yourselves. You're a good man with so much love and good in your hearts. Like, she's right too. Okay, Jonathan, I don't want to see anyone go through anything like that. No one does.
Exactly, 502.
With Rod, as I said earlier, like, your motivation should be your daughter. Like, you should quit cold turkey. And I know it's not as easy as it sounds, but you could quit and then be the better parent than your ex-wife, and you could probably get full custody of your daughter.
Yeah, I'm sure I could.
That should be your driving motivation right there.
It is. Some of my friends that have talked to me too about that, and it will happen here in the future. But I just kind of have to fix myself first.
Yeah, but why not now? Why wait in the future?
Yeah.
The future's unpredictable.
Yeah, it's true.
Why not now?
Yeah.
Clean yourself up, get rid of the booze, and file for full custody. And because you said your ex-wife is a drunk too, and you
know what, TC? That's what I love about you, man. You're pretty freaking blunt, and sometimes it needs somebody like that to put a little kick in your ass. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it.
Agreed.
But like, I know you have it in you. Okay, Bill was like, anyone can reach out to me as well. I've been there. I get it. Had several friends go out that way. It's a scary thing, Like, as I said before, I would drink because I wanted to die, and I would drink so much, and I wake up next day, I'm like, why am I still alive? And my mom's like, because your body built up such a high tolerance towards booze,
Mm-hmm. Yep. And at CTC, I never drank because I wanted to die.
Mm-hmm.
But after I got drinking the way I felt, I wanted to die. But after I had been drinking, because you just get feeling, you've got to wake up sooner or later, and you just feel like ran over dog shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean that's to put it lightly, and all. But I want all of you guys. I don't know if you're reading the comments, all of the comments that are coming in, through there. And that's really what this community should be about, is helping each other. And that's what the comments that are coming, there's no hate, there's no hollering at anybody. And I would personally say, hypothetically speaking, of course, we're seeing the best in this community right here in the chat tonight. That's my opinion.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that.
I really mean that. Look at the comments in there, and they're just, I don't know, you get a tear in your eye if you read all of them.
Everything's positive, man.
Yeah.
Lisa's like, I'm glad to see so many here in the chat and on the panel that are willing to help each other out. That's true friendship. No one has to go through this alone. Take comfort in your friends. She's right. LB's like, changes is scary and hard and difficult when you're running a household, etc. So many things go into changing a whole lifestyle. She's right. Frogger's like, he left behind 5 kids and 3 stepkids. And now they know their dad loved them and they live on in his spirit. They're making him proud. See right there, his comment right there. I gear this towards both you, Rod, and Brian. Like, as I said, you both have kids. Like, Brian, I know you're trying. Like, don't you want to quit for them?
Well, of course.
Then why not? Like, why haven't you? Like,
it's not so much a question of why. It's pretty much it's a how am I going to do it? It's something that I try to work for every day, man. And yeah, I slipped up, and as long as I don't plan on doing it again, is the way that I'm going to be thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that too, Frogger. My condolences. LB's like, alcohol doesn't make people bad parents, to be honest, either. I had amazing parents that drank. That could go 50-50, I think. Like, it could go 50-50, depending on what their moods are. Here you go, Rod, from Julie. She's like, Rod, maybe we should do that together at Thanksgiving, no drinking.
Sounds good to me.
There you go. Try that and see, where it goes from there.
And Rod, I will tell you, you can still be a redneck without drinking. That passed with ribbon, Because I'm a redneck and I don't drink. So me and you, we can still be rednecks and not drink.
I gotcha.
You got to learn how to play that banjo, though.
Yeah, you got to learn. You got to learn to play banjo. That helps.
Thank you, Ken. I appreciate it. John says if you want to accomplish that goal, start working towards it. Like that's a great time to start too, Rod. Okay. Julie's like, we'll just get turkey wasted.
I'm down with that. I do love my food.
Kitty's like, I'll take anyone out in my car and it will be the best thrill you ever had. Shits and giggles, stay busy. Pray every night for you all. Thank you, Kitty. Appreciate you. Always. Yeah, Rod, Brian, like when you would drink though, did you ever have the munchies?
Oh, yeah. At the end of the night, after I'm done drinking and I can't really drink no more, I am starving, man. I'll eat anything.
only back in my bar days. I haven't been to the bar in a good couple of years, man. But back then it was like every time after the bar would close, we'd all go out to eat. But nowadays, if I was to be drinking or something, not really. No, I'd go home and pass out. For some reason, when I drank, I didn't want to eat. I'd be skipping dinner and just, I guess the alcohol had enough carbs in it.
Yeah, it's true.
I did the same things a lot. I'll just get drunk and pass out and not eat. But other times, I'll go in and I'll eat everything. That's probably because I haven't eaten all day. I'm like, what?
Yeah. How about you, Nevermore? Hypothetically speaking, of course.
Nope, I never got the munchies.
If I'm drinking beer, I really don't eat. But if I'm drinking like White Claw or just liquor or something, then I get pretty hungry.
Now I will say, like at 9:30 in the morning, if I have me a White Claw, sometimes I do get the munchies. At 9:30 in the morning. Hypothetically speaking, if I had a White Claw at 9:30 in the morning.
I know where this
No.
is going.
But no, I never got the munchies. I don't think. I probably didn't eat as much because I was drinking. But to say, I never got the munchies. I'll tell you, anybody in the chat who is diabetic, alcohol can have a really weird effect on diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a lot of carbs in it if you're drinking beer and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But when you wake up in the morning, it's made your sugar go bottom out big time. And I've never understood that. And liquor like Jack Daniels or vodka, stuff like that, doesn't have any carbs in it. And boy, it bottoms your sugar out big time. And I do not understand why, because all that stuff is made with sugar.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some kind of effect that the alcohol has where it might run your sugar up at first, but boy, it bottoms it out big time. And that is not hypothetically speaking. That's the truth. That's the gospel.
Yeah, you're right.
And I don't understand why. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't either. Tatiana was like, if your kids are important, now's the time. She has seen too much now and deserves better. Kids need healthy, sober parents to protect them and break 100%. The cycle. Please, Rod.
Yeah, 100%. Huh?
And you can do it, as I said, be that better parent. Be the better parent than your ex-wife is, and go get full custody of her. You could do it,
Mm-hmm.
And that's right. And I want for something else I want to bring out. 502 has posted in here. It like if your drink of choice would be White Claw, it might make you drunk to the point where you would go out and start a fake 501c3.
Or build a 6-inch fence.
Yes. Yes. But I'll tell you,
he was too drunk to finish.
One of the things though that helps keep me sober, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't have kids, but I have 2 grandnephews, and one is going to be 3 in February, and the other one has just turned 1 in August, and July he turned 1, and just thinking about them, they are always in some shape or form my Facebook profile pic, and it's something about thinking about them boys that I know I can't go back to doing what I was doing if I'm going to see them boys, and I want to be in their life for a long, long time, and so that really helps me a lot too.
And it motivates you.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It does.
Hey, Kitty, I read your comment there.
Yeah, I read that too.
I went through the same thing.
Kitty, I'm so sorry about that.
And I told myself I was never going to be like that, but who's to say how I was going to get when I drank, But I never did get like that. I never once touched my wife, but I don't know. I could, I don't know. I'd be out there threatening to kill the police.
But see, here's the thing too, though, Brian. And like with the booze, it turns us into something that we're not.
That's exactly. One thing with me. I'd get just one sip, and it's like I'm schizophrenic, and it just I turn into a different person. The Bryden has left the building type guy,
Yeah. Go ahead, Nevermore.
I did not have parents. Matter of fact, neither of my parents drank at all. But I did have a grandfather who was a mean alcoholic. He beat my grandmother. He beat my mama. So I know what Kitty's, how her comment. I understand that. Not through my mom and dad, but through my grandparents.
As I said though, when I was drinking, I was more like a quiet, serious kind of drunk. You know, but I would get angry, but just at myself towards the world. But I would get angry, but I would be like at home, like. But when I was with other people, I was more like quiet, reserved kind of thing, serious.
I don't know about that comment, LB. I don't think that's true, honestly. I've seen some pretty nice people become pretty horrible people from drinking.
It's true. It's like Jekyll Hyde persona.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
When they're sober, they're great people, but when they get hammered, and I know some of my friends that have stopped drinking because of that, because they're turned into terrible people.
You know, and it would all depend on who you're around too. Like if I was around friends, then I'd be the most happiest go lucky person in the world.
Mhm.
You know, but you get me like one person say one cross thing to me.
Yep,
and
fights on.
Yeah, it's going down. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, what Constantine said there. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, Constantine, I agree with you. But when some people, when they become alcoholics, that they're not the same person.
But yeah,
and not really just have to be an alcoholic. I know some people who just drink, and if they get drunk, and I'm not talking about an alcoholic, we just get drunk, and they're a different person.
Yeah, but towards the end of his comment too, he's like alcohol or not. So he's referring to men who don't drink either that still hit women. Well, it's simple, Constantine. Real men don't hit women.
100.
Right.
Yeah, like, but with the drinking though, as I said, it is a Jekyll Hyde persona. It really is. Julie's like my parents drank only occasionally, but my grandmother was a raging alcoholic. Yeah, I grew up around booze, you know, and I started when I was 14, and I did it to get popular. You know, I'll be honest, I did it because I wanted to be popular. You know, and it worked. So, but I didn't realize I'd be doing it for like the next 25 years.
And I'm older than you guys, and I don't mind telling you. See, back in my day, we didn't have a whole lot of drugs and all to go around. Marijuana was about it, and I didn't particularly care for that. And I pretty much drank to be popular, to be, part of the club, be part of the in crowd.
Yeah, same here and more. And we're doing it for 25 years. I didn't realize it was that long. When a friend of mine told me that, I'm like, good God, you know. And I felt like I wasted those years. You know, I literally felt like I wasted those years.
Yeah, it's just something that I know I'll never be able to get back. And it just goes by so much faster when you're drunk. You just when you don't remember, it's just like, one day ties into the next, into the next, into the next. And the next thing you know, it's like years later. And you don't, you just miss so much stuff.
Kitty, I'm so sorry. I really am. Unfortunately, when he was done with her, he came after me. I just stay away from people who drink. I'm so sorry about that, Kitty. I honestly am.
502 put just Constantine. If a monster is a true monster, it's definitely in him. And if any of you have had the chance to see a movie called, I believe it's Haunted Summer. It is a story about Mary Shelley, who was the writer of Frankenstein, and her husband Percy, who was the poet. And Percy was messing with drugs from Lord Byron, and I'm convinced that the Frankenstein monster that she wrote of Frankenstein was her own husband, Percy. And it's a good movie. If anybody, it's an old movie, but if anybody gets a chance to see it, watch it. Because we do become different people when we're under the influence of alcohol or anything else for that matter.
Mhm.
But if you get this chance, you can find the movie, stream it on something that's called Haunted Summer. Watch it, and I think it's a good portrayal of um, just what alcohol and all and drugs and all can do to you, change you from the person you are to the person that you really are. So
Yeah. Progress like my mom's boyfriend drank every day and beat me. My brothers when my mom was at work, I got the worst. I lost my voice that's full from it. So I have a hard time talking. It's hard understanding me unless you know me. I'm so sorry about that, Frogger. I really am. Lisa's like, if you're struggling, there is hope. Everyone needs hope sometimes. You're not alone. And that's true. What you just said right there. You're not alone. People think that they are, but truth be told, they're not. I had to learn that. Edward, rest in peace, Tristan Nash, dead at 26 of alcoholism. Yeah, so he knew what I was talking about. I think it was a combination too from him having seizures too, right, if I'm not mistaken. There's like a concept, absolutely a real man doesn't put his hands on a woman. Kind of seems like facts. Do you see the amount of self-hate and non-decency has to be astronomical to feel powerful by hurting something smaller than you? I don't even consider that human, to be honest. You're absolutely right, Con. It's not. Yeah, Frogger's like, okay, made me a stronger and better person in life. I'm glad, Frogger, that you're stronger and better in life. With the booze, like, Rod, do you think you have it in you to quit though? Like, you're drinking right now, right? You said,
Who, me?
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I had a couple when the stream came on, but no, I'm not right now.
Okay, like next time you feel the urge to like open a can up, or yeah, I think you're drinking from a can. Anyhow, like, say to yourself, like, is it really worth it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then think about your daughter, and then your real answer will come to you. You know,
Yeah.
I know you battle with the depression, you know, and all that stuff. I'm battling with it too. You know,
Yeah, I hear you.
Julie was like, okay, read this one here, Rod, since Julie's a friend of ours.
Yeah, I was just reading. That's
My
terrible.
sister never drank, and I would have to fight like a dude for my life. I'm so sorry about that, Julie. I really am. Like with the booze, as I said, it turns you into something that you're not, you know. And I noticed that too. Like, as I said, like when I was at home, I would get angry, but at myself and at the world. But when I would go out, I was more like of a quiet, reserved drunk, more
Mhm.
serious. But I never got into like fights or nothing like that, you know.
Oh, I
Kim Nash said it was quitting alcohol cold turkey is what killed his son. Be careful, quitting cold turkey, it could kill you. Yeah, I watched that, Edward. I watched that his podcast there, but his son had seizures too. He suffered that, so I think that had a hand in it too, if I'm not mistaken. Like so I had seizures when I was a kid, you know, but I never suffered them when I got older. And when I heard about that, that scared the crap out of me, you know, about what happened with Kevin Nash's son, you know. But yeah, next time you feel like next time you want to pick up a beer though, Rod, think before you do and say to yourself, like, what would I rather have in my life? My daughter full time or have another drink, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And you could definitely do it, you know. With you, Brian, like as I said, you got your kids there, and don't you want to like see them grow up and experience life?
Oh, of course I do.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to come at you hard here or nothing like that. Like, just want you both to open your eyes up and realize, it's not worth it, and you have it in you to quit. LB is like, okay, we're at great point. I have this fear for my sister often as she's still young. Happens a lot more and not talked about much. Sarah's like, LB, it either goes one way or the other with a male who grew up home seeing his dad put his hands on his mom/female. My ex of 14 and a half years grew up watching it, and his dad was really bad dude. It's a drug. Yeah, like with it was like, I gotta admit, this is making me a little emotional, really thinking about my past. It's tough. Yeah, like I had those moments. I'll be honest, I had those moments like across my mind, like going back to drinking. I thought about it, but for some reason I chose not to. Like as I said before, back in May, I was at the bar, and luckily John Davis saved me from drinking that night. Because if I went back, I wouldn't be here today talking to you guys. I really wouldn't. I'd probably be at home or home drinking, getting drunk.
Yeah, John's a good cat, man.
Yeah, he is. Nevermore. How many years were you drinking for?
Off and on for a long time. But in the last few years that I was drinking, it had got to the point where I was drinking all day and all night. I was probably having to have a drink about every 3 or 4 hours. And that was to stay normal. I was not drinking that and then, walking all sideways. My body had just become addicted, a craving it, because it had been there for so long. I'm trying to think. I had my first drink when I was 14.
So you were the same age as me.
When I started, yeah.
Yeah.
But let's see, I stopped when I was, let's see, I'm 63 now. 5 years ago, was that 58? Is that about right?
Yeah.
So not 14 off of that, what, 44?
45 years.
Yeah. Now, I wasn't drinking real regular or real steady through there. I might have a beer here and there. I don't know why I ever drank beer because I don't like the taste to it. Well, I do know why I drank beer, to get drunk, to be part of the crowd. But to say that the taste of beer was good, it is not. To me, it's not. But I got to the point where my drink of choice was vodka. And I had drank and drank and drank so much of it till I had to have it to function. I could not function without it. And I might have blown hard telling what I would have blown on the breathalyzer. But to me, I had to have that to be, for my hands not to shake. For things like that and all. And I decided I have got to stop this. It just, I couldn't go on like that. I'm convinced that had I not stopped, then you guys would not be talking to me now.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right, Julie. I was not drinking to get drunk at that point. I was drinking just to function and be normal. If that makes any sense to you guys.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. I remember those days.
Yeah, it wasn't fun neither, was it?
Nope.
And,
hey, Edward, I hope that you feel better. I'll go ahead, Nevermore.
I hope I never get back to them days.
That's one reason why I told myself I needed to quit, man. I'd seen myself getting there,
And Brian, you're close, but as I said, you keep hitting that one brick wall.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I won't hit anymore. You know. Hopefully.
Yeah, like it to you, Rod, and to you, Brian. If you ever like feel the need to like turn to that booze again, you could hit myself or Nevermore up. And we'll help you talk. Help you out of it.
Okay.
And I definitely mean that.
I know
Thank
you do, man. I just want to thank everybody in the chat for being so damn supportive too, man.
Yeah, definitely 100, everyone. Thank you guys.
Rock.
Kitty is like drama. Some people live off it. Some people need real hobbies, move their minds forward, and not be stuck. There's so many help groups out there now. It's true. Lisa says Brian will have a relapse yet. It's one day. Weeks go by until he does it again. See, Brian, we gotta break you out of that somehow.
Yeah.
Like
that, I'm scared that one day it'll turn into 2 and turn into 3. And, and I don't want that no more.
Like I don't want Lisa contacting me. She's like, yeah, the booze finished him off. That would crush me if I heard that.
Yeah.
And same with you, Rod. Like,
And in the chat up here, I just dropped my phone number to you guys, so that if you ever need to talk, you give me a call. And I don't care if it's 3:00 in the morning. You got my phone number. If you need help, you need to talk through it, give me a call.
All right. Thank you, man.
Do you know how to get? It's in the chat for you guys right up here. So, if you need me, any one of you three, you give me a call.
All right. Thank you, man.
Appreciate it, Nevermore.
Yeah, you're a good man, Nevermore, for offering that to both Brian and Rod. Like, hopefully, what you said gets through to both of them.
Cat eyes, right? Weird, huh?
What is cat eyes? Something cat eyes has never heard of that. I thought she heard of everything.
Drama, what's that? Constantine's like, we gotta ask a big question: why society and life so fucked that we have to get drunk and high in the first place?
I've been asking that my entire life.
Well, Constantine, when I used to drink, I would drink to numb the pain of being alone, and it got me nowhere. If anything, it made me push more people away.
Mm-hmm.
I blame it on the devil, man. If he wasn't around, none of this shit would be happening.
Well, it's, as I said, Bride, it's who we are as people that defy us, like the choices that we make in life. Like no one had a gun to my head and say, yeah, you got to drink that. I chose to do that. Like I went almost every day to the liquor store and buy like $50-$60 worth of booze, and then I would get drunk and then I would say, I'm not drunk enough, and go back to the liquor store, and luckily I was scared that they would turn, say you can't buy the booze, but they would still let me buy the booze,
Yep.
My liquor store did the same thing, Brian. I mean, TC. I could probably have staggered in the door backwards, and they would still sold to me.
Yeah. Or you had to, even if you're like so drunk, you would act like you were.
Say that again, Rod. I thought
No,
Rod said something.
Oh, Rod, did you say something? No, for me, like if I get so drunk, like then I'll go back to the liquor store. Like if I was like, I had that look on my face, but I would try to pretend I wasn't drunk.
Yeah. And Darren done that too.
Yeah. But yeah, like, Nevermore, did you ever drink in the morning like I did or no?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
I drank all day and all night. And
yeah,
the first thing I would do in the morning, I would have a drink. Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's like I learned from Marilyn Manson that the key is to get fucked when you're happy, not sad. That way it doesn't become a crutch. That's true.
I don't so much know about that.
Steph's like, right, Constantine, this world is fucked.
It is.
It doesn't have to be, though, but it is.
It's getting worse and worse every day.
Yeah.
I mean, 20 years ago, do you think we would see all the movement towards what we've got going on now? Hell no.
Not at all.
And then 20 years before that, people will be thinking that 20 years ago was insane. Just think of how it was in the turn of the century. If people could see us today, man, they'd be hanging their heads in shame.
Look what they're doing to our poor kids these days, man. It's terrible. Trying to change their sex, cutting off stuff, giving them all these pills. It's terrible, man. It makes me sad.
Yeah. But
I understand, because back when I was in school, we didn't have no damn transformers. Everybody went to the bathroom that, you looked down your pants, whatever you had or you didn't have. That was which bathroom you went to. I don't know what the hell the world's coming to.
Simpler times.
I remember going to high school, and the very first kid in high school got an earring in his ear. And we all looked at him, and we were, it was just, it freaked everybody out. And what we're seeing today, what a difference, man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know. It really is a difference, the world that we live in. Oh, hey, WPG. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. But yeah. Okay, bro.
Who said they remembered when the very first kid got their earring in
That
school?
was me.
Which one? Was that you?
Yeah.
How old are you, Brad?
54.
Okay. So about 9 years older than you.
Yeah, that was back in probably 82, 83.
You're the same age as my sister is. That's what the reason I asked you that, because I figured you must have been back in the day a little bit there, for that to have been a thing.
Yeah. I had a pair of bell bottoms.
Yep. Okay.
Hey, Constantine, be safe on your trip. I hope you have a good one, brother.
Hey, Blazing, good to see you here, man.
Hey, Wolfpack.
Later, Constantine.
Take it easy, Const.
Take care, Const.
Yeah, have a good one, brother. Be safe.
And I think Wolfpack's leaving, so Wolfpack, you have a good night too.
Later, good to see you, buddy.
But yeah, as I said though earlier, Rod, use your daughter as your motivation to quit drinking.
Yeah.
Go get full custody of her. Prove to your ex-wife that you're the better parent. It's not like it's not a competition or anything. It's that you could do the right thing. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, agreed. Thank you, man.
Yeah, I know you have it in you. Just quit the drinking, and just take it one day at a time. You're welcome, Cons. But yeah, just take it one day at a time. You could do it. You're just a few years older than me, so. And Brian, with you, you're close. You're close to quit drinking. As I said earlier, you're just hitting that one brick wall over and over again. We gotta figure out a way for you to, to prevent that.
Yeah, it seems like it's like I'll give the analogy of every one of those little cement blocks on the sidewalk. You're walking into that wall. Well, now it's every time I go around the block, so it's definitely better, but it's still there.
Yeah.
So.
I know you both have it in you to quit, so permanently.
And I will tell you, quitting is a scary thing, because you don't know, how you feel with it, but you don't know how you're going to feel without it. I made up my mind so many times I was going to quit, but then I would buy something just to make sure well, if I get the shakes or the DTs or, you know, all this stuff going on, I got to have something to stop that. Well, when I got something to, you know, to have there to stop any of that stuff from happening, I was like, well, oh hell, it's here. I just will go in and drink it, you know. And that cycle went over and over and over until finally I said, I can't do it no more. I just, you know, I thought about all the money I was wasting, um, and hypothetically speaking, let's just say that you hypothetically you drank and drank and drank, and you know you was an alcoholic, and you were kind of drunk and all, and you would get mad when you know when you were like that to the point, hypothetically speaking, that you would even beat yourself in the head, your own self with your own hands, and beat your own self in the head. Hypothetically speaking, of course. Do you want that?
Are you referring to a certain someone there, Nevermore?
Say that again.
Are you referring to a certain someone there, Nevermore?
That's a hypothetical situation.
Hypothetically speaking, of course.
Hypothetically speaking, you guys don't want to be like that.
No.
Not at all.
I'm not going back down that road. I don't want to be like that. I never was like that, but hypothetically speaking, it can happen to people. And you don't want to be like that. And I know you guys can quit.
Appreciate that, man.
Cat Eye says cold turkey is the best way to go.
She's right, but
I agree with her.
at the same time too, it can be dangerous. Like
Depends on how deep you are in it, man. I mean, if you're to the point where you get DTs if you stop, then no, you can't do that, man, because you go into system shock and it will kill you. You know, I've seen it happen before. It happened to one of my dad's good buddies. He decided he was going to quit, and he died 2 days later. You know, I mean, other people can do it. It just depends on how deep you really are into it. You know, me, I can just quit. Boom, done. You know, other people can't.
Who was that talking, Bryden?
Yeah,
I thought it was. You can. So why not?
You know, that's what I struggle with. It's mental. It's you see, and like I was saying earlier before you got on the stream, I've been asked why, and why do you drink, and I don't have an answer for it. I really don't, and that's one of the most puzzling things about it is I don't have an answer.
Do you get scared of how you're going to be if you're not drinking?
No, not at all.
Okay, see, I had that problem. Now I will say that yes, I quit cold turkey, but yes, I did have another drug that helped me to be able to quit cold turkey. I had a drug called clonidine. It's a blood pressure drug that they actually use in clinics with people who are getting off alcohol. Well, my blood pressure dose wouldn't do anything about that, but if I overdosed that blood pressure dose, it would. Yeah. And so I bumped the dose up big time, and pretty much sedated myself with that, and that got me through anything I would have had with the alcohol. So I say I quit cold turkey. I did have something else that I could rely on to help me through the hard times. I didn't have any bad times, and I think it was because of clonidine.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of people wouldn't really understand unless they went through it themselves, I think. But you mentioned the DTs. For anyone who doesn't understand what that is, they're called delirium tremors, yes. And they're caused by the lack of alcohol in your bloodstream.
Yes,
and it can actually make you go into violent epileptic seizures.
People die from that sometimes.
Yes, and that's what can kill you as far as quitting cold turkey. But I was never to that point. I had a buddy who would drink 2 fifths of vodka a day, and
I was pretty close to that.
he's not around anymore. But that's he would get the DTs every time. If he'd wake up in the morning and he had to have a drink immediately, or he would get them.
Shaky hands. All we can tell by the shaky hands.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, see, I would wake up with the shaky hands. I would wake up having breathing troubles. But the minute I took that first drink, my hands would calm down. My breathing would be fine. You know, it was a drinking thing for me to be normal.
Yeah. You know, and then you get the puffy skin, the bags under the eyes.
Yep.
You know,
You get bloated.
yeah, and you can tell. You know, and see, I fortunately never got that way. I've seen so many people that have, though, and maybe it was just the fact that, like I said, I was a functioning alcoholic. There were points during the day where I wouldn't be drinking. I wouldn't think about drinking, but you know, it wasn't an everyday thing. It was like maybe 3 nights out of the week or something, or 3 days out of the week, depending upon when I would start drinking. And you know,
if I left the house, I had enough alcohol with me in a flask to make sure I had a drink when I needed it.
yeah, that's pretty hardcore.
And that was even if I just left my house to go to the post office. In case I needed it, I had it.
Yeah.
Exactly right, fake catcher content. Everything in moderation. If that's not possible, then you have to quit.
True, very true.
Agreed.
Oh.
But see, Rod, you're a lucky dude. You get to have Thanksgiving with Julie, so you're going to stick to the no drinking?
Yes, definitely. Being around people always helps that don't drink. That's always nice.
It does. That's a bonus, man. You know, and being by yourself doesn't help either. And you know, so if you can maybe try and find somebody that you know is good, clean, and sober, that you can hang out with, maybe get a hobby or something, or you know, things like that. I'm not specifically talking to you, Rod. I'm talking to everybody. You know that's involved in this. It's a bonus. You know.
Exactly. I agree.
Being alone is sometimes one of the worst things that a recovering alcoholic can be.
Yeah.
And it's really hard because depression will set in, and you think that you feel you want that drink, you know, and then it comes and it'll just snatch you up and drag you away, man.
Yeah, I hear you there. It's true.
You're right about that, Brandon. You really are, and I know all about that. You know.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier, there's so many times that I could have went back to the booze, but I chose not to.
Yep. That's good, man. I'm very proud of you, Terrence. And Nevermore.
Appreciate it. Like we're not saying Nevermore and I aren't saying this because we're saying we're better anymore. We're not saying that at all. We're just trying to make you guys open your eyes, you know.
No, because I'll tell you right now, I'm still an alcoholic.
Yeah, I don't believe it ever goes away. You know, that feeling's always there.
You know, there's been quite a few times in the last 5 years that I've felt like I needed to have a drink, big time. Like I said, one time was last month. I was dealing with some family stuff, and I wanted to kill about half of them. And I went out and I actually went to the liquor store and I bought 2 fifths of vodka. I didn't reach up high neither. I'm like Colfax. I reached all the way down to that bottom shelf to get my stuff. That Pop-Alls and all that stuff.
Cheap and easy.
Yeah, there you go. But I didn't crack the seal on them. And I'm telling you, just the thought of drinking vodka right now makes me almost gag. That's how bad it done me.
Well, but, you know, for me, the smell of it makes me gag.
I understand. What was your drink of choice, TC?
Mostly beer. But when I go to the clubs, I would drink like the harder stuff, like Jager bombs and all that.
Right.
Oh god.
So I would mix. I would do a lot of mixing.
I'm just curious, what kind of beer did you drink? Because I know it wasn't Pat's Blue Ribbon, because you ain't no redneck up there in Canada.
Some moose head or something, huh?
Oh, go ahead.
You were like Cap. You drank some of that cheerleader beer, weren't you?
Oh
That and White Claw.
no. Oddly enough, I walked by a hotel not too long ago downtown, and they're promoting White Claw.
Oh,
I don't think it was ever here before, but no, that stuff that Cap drinks, it's not over here. But no, I drink like a lot of Canadian beer and Corona.
I drank a White Claw once. That stuff is disgusting.
That's an acquired taste. I'll just say that.
Yeah, no, I was a Jack Daniels fan myself. I drank
Gentleman
so much,
Jack.
Dude, I drank so much of that stuff I can make the label rhyme. No, I'm serious. It does rhyme too if you read it the right way.
If you read it,
Yeah, it goes Jack Daniels Old Time No. 7 brand quality Tennessee sour mash whiskey.
That's awesome.
I told you.
I have never heard that before, but I love it.
That's exactly what the label says too. On some of the bottles, anyway. But anyways, yeah. Enough of that. I'm done.
Yeah, like the booze, it makes me sick now to my stomach.
Thinking about it does me. Not just drinking it. I think if I took a drink, I feel like I would throw up all over the house.
Yeah, see, I'm afraid if I ever went back to the booze, that'd probably be it for me. You know, that'd probably finish me off once for all.
Nah, we ain't gonna let that happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, TC, I'm gonna go ahead and jump down, buddy. I gotta get some stuff together. I got a job tomorrow I gotta go do, man. I'm gonna install some carpet. First time in a couple months I've done that. I usually do the hard surface jobs, hardwood and stuff.
But Brian, before you go though,
yeah,
I want you to know you could do it. You could quit. I know you have it in you.
I know I can, man. I got it in me.
You know, you gotta be strong-willed.
Hey, thanks for being on here tonight. Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it,
Bryden. It was good to talk to you tonight. Make sure you look in the chat. Get my phone number. If you ever need help, you give me a call.
I already copied, pasted, and put it to the side there, buddy.
Okay, and I mean it. I don't care if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You call me if you need it. But I do have one question that I need to ask you.
Yeah.
Are you trying to be, the next Vic? I heard you just talking about your hardwood.
It's better than soft vinyl, buddy.
There you go. Brian, you take care, buddy. If you need me, you call me.
You got it, man.
And Brian, you can always hit me up too. You know that.
Oh, I know, TC. I do anyways, man. So
yeah, but do it before you have that urge.
Yep, you know it, man. You know it. And take care, Rod.
You too, man.
Buddy.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna jump down the chat for a couple minutes and then head on out in a little bit. So y'all take care.
I'll tell you what, Terrence. This chat tonight, it amazes me. This is what a community ought to be like. Supporting each other and not tearing each other down. I'm really proud of what I've been reading.
Thank you, no more. Appreciate it.
I really mean that. Even Cat Eyes is behaving. you know, if Cat Eyes is behaving, something must be going right.
Yeah. No, I don't allow no drama here, so I leave that for Locke and Ed.
That's what it is. Well, I think we've got a good community. But I did read earlier today that Whitakus is leaving the community.
Yeah, Brian mentioned something about that, but not about him leaving though. I should
In
should
his,
look at it. Oh, go ahead.
in his, he don't have guilty. He's got the other one. What is it? And that in there today? I think he read he was wrote he was leaving the community, and all. So, any of you folks know him good and get to talk to him, talk
You
him
know,
out of leaving.
you know what Brian's
Whitakus.
from the chat. Brian, is that true? Is Whitaker's leaving or? Because well, Lisa, do you know anything about that too, or no? Like I heard something similar, but not about him leaving. So I hope it's not true.
I do too, because he's a good guy. Bryden said, "Not sure. I sure hope not."
So Brian would know because they hung out together in real life. So, oh, that's not what Lisa said. He hasn't answered any of my messages.
Let me see exactly how he wrote that on here. Discord, that's what it is he's in. I'm good, just been chilling, done with this community. Started as a hobby, but once people close to me start getting targeted, I'm done. Hope you guys have been doing well. I hope he's not leaving, though. But matter of fact, I've kind of grown to love his channel just about as good as anybody's on here because it's so chill. It's no drama, and I actually like the stuff he shows. Okay, Cat Eye said no. He's taking a break for now.
Yeah, but what Nevermore just read was completely different.
Well, I hope he's just taking a break, and I hope he don't leave.
Yeah, well, everyone's entitled to a break, you know.
Yep.
I took one. I was gone for 5 weeks.
I took one. I was gone for 5 days.
Julie's like amazing chat tonight. I have some tears, but this is truly a great community. So thankful for all you parents you led this community.
Thank you, Julie.
Truly care about people. Thank you, Julie. Appreciate it. It means a lot. And you know, if it wasn't for like Rod and Nevermore, Bryden, Penny, Damone, and all of them, you know, it's them that I gotta thank. You know, for telling their story. You know.
And Julie, I agree with you. Terrence is leading this community with a lot of respect. And this is what the community needs to be like more often. Somebody had wrote earlier that Cat Eyes, in fact, did not call anyone a motherfucker on this panel.
Saving it for tomorrow for another panel.
I think I read in here earlier that Ed said he may do a panel tomorrow night, and I'm
There you
sure
go.
that's when Cat Eyes will get us.
Yeah, I've got a migraine tonight, so I hope he feels better.
Yes, Lord. I've never had a migraine, but I know some people who have them, and they talk like they are just something else.
Yeah, see, I get those weird headaches. I got that from I suffered concussion from my drinking days. I still have the effects to this day.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you do? Fall out?
No. I was at the bar and I don't remember exactly what happened after that. Next thing I know, I wake up, I'm in the hospital. My shirt's all bloodied, and they're fixing my forehead. And they said, the one doctor's like, yeah, you suffered concussion. And they put like 25 staples in my forehead.
Wonder what the other guy looked like.
I don't know. Like I just I blacked out. You know, I don't remember exactly. But I'm still. That was 7 years ago, and I'm still feeling the effects of him to this day.
Man,
And I get these weird migraines.
Do you take anything for him, or is there anything you can take for him that'll help him?
I try sleeping it off, and sometimes it works. Regular Tylenol really doesn't do much, but I don't know. It's just it feels like someone's got like a sledgehammer into my forehead and they're just bashing it in. That's what it feels like.
Okay, when you get that headache, do you want it like completely dark around you?
I get these weird dizzy spells.
My grandmother used to have these. She would call them sick headaches. I don't know if she ever went to a doctor about them, but she would have to shut the door, turn the lights out, lay across the bed, and she wanted it completely quiet. She didn't want to hear anything, and I think she probably had migraines at the time. I didn't know what a migraine was my own self, but
Yeah.
seeing other people I know who do have migraines, I kind of think that's probably what she had.
Yeah, like mine's from the concussions. Prior to that, I never had those headaches until after I got it. But yeah, I get these like weird dizzy spells too.
502 said he still feels the effects of all his concussions. We might be better off not asking why he's got so many concussions.
Yeah, I don't want to know that. Like I had only one, and he's got multiple. That's not good.
He says, of all my concussions.
Yeah, I still feel the effects of all my concussions. So yeah, he had more than one. But yeah, like go ahead.
A football player is my guess, or either his wife has a cast iron frying pan.
Cast iron frying pan. No, John's like, now I have a CTE. Oof.
And that is
I forget now. John, put that in the chat again. What a CTE is. I kind of forgot. It slipped my mind. Well,
yep.
football and car crashes.
Yep. Is CTE, is that the thing that the pro football players get? They talk about when they get hit and all, and they get concussions.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
WPG's like, I've had multiple concussions playing football as a teenager in the 90s and early 2000s. Yeah, getting those in pretty. Yeah, CTE is a brain injury. No, LB, that's not what made me quit. I got that when I suffered that when I was 35, and the nurse said you got to quit drinking, and I still drank for 4 years after that. No, I quit drinking because my body felt like it was shutting down on me. That's why I quit. Right here. Chronic traumatic, what Fake Catcher said.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, like getting concussions, it's a nasty business, you know.
thank you, Sarah. You too, Barb. It means a lot.
Yeah, Sarah's like, Rod Plumb, thank you for coming up here and sharing your story. You got this, and you got your baby girl. One day at a time, I'm here for you ever want to talk. See, Rod, you have it in you. You know, a lot of people are behind you on this, you know.
Yeah, that's nice. I know I do.
Yeah, like as I said, Rod, you could do it for your daughter. Don't do it for you. Do it for your daughter. You know?
Yeah. Yes, definitely. I hear you.
Just be
And I
that
will.
better parent, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Kitty's like, Rod, you're a good dude, and you're a good daddy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I tried to.
You know, like as I said, if you ever feel that urge again to if you ever feel that urge to drink again, before you do, contact myself or Nevermore, and we'll
Yep.
we'll talk to you.
Okay, awesome.
You know, like I want to hear one day, you say, yeah, I got full custody of her because I quit drinking.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
And
And
then
Rod, I have to ask
okay.
you: do you live in the southern United States?
Southern California.
And they've got past blue ribbon out there?
Hell yeah, they got past blue ribbon. That's my shit.
I just assumed when you were drinking Pat's Blue Ribbon, you was like in over here,
Now my whole family's from over there, Oklahoma and a couple other areas, but I've been living out here forever.
Okay. Wow. I just learned something new tonight.
Yeah, we got that over here too, though. Nevermore.
We thought we had kept that a secret. We
Shit,
didn't want everybody to find out about that.
It turned into the hipster beer out here in California.
I guess so. And I think Terrence just said they have it in Canada.
Yeah, we've had that for years. Pabst Blue Ribbon. I remember seeing that every time I used to go to the liquor store. But I never tried it though.
But don't try it now.
Well,
Yeah,
no, of
you're
course
not missing out.
Yeah,
Yep.
I know.
Don't go out and try it now.
No.
You can be hip without it. We'll let you be a redneck. We'll let you be an honorary redneck. You don't have to try it.
Thank you, more appreciate it. And make you an honorary Canadian then.
There you go.
Fair trade.
That's something I had to think about.
It's about. But yeah, Rod, like we know, both Nevermore and I know that you have it in you.
I do. I've done it. I've done it before, man. I've been sober for quite a while, but we'd always end up going back.
But imagine if you had full custody of your daughter.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So you know what you got to do in order to get that.
Oh yeah, I know.
Live that clean, sober life. You could do it.
How old is your daughter, Rod?
4.5.
4.5.
Yeah. She's my princess, and she knows it.
Yeah. There you go.
I tried that before WPG several years ago. I did like that, the Bud Ice. But yeah, Rod, you could do it. And everyone's behind you on this. You've been, how many years have you been in the community or village?
Yeah, the village, yes. I don't know, probably around 3 at least. I don't know.
Been a while. It's good that you're here. Like you're one of the best supporters here.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I got hooked the first time I seen it. I was like, oh, this is my shit right here.
Yeah. But like being here though doesn't make you drink though, does it? I had to ask that.
Oh no, not at all. In fact, it keeps me from it sometimes. Sometimes it keeps me busy. So it's nice to stay busy.
Good, it keeps you occupied.
Yeah, definitely.
That's good.
Tell the truth, Rod. Cat Eyes drove you to drinking, didn't she?
Well, I don't want to say it out loud on here, but you just did. The cat's out of the bag now.
Yes, Lord.
But yeah, Rod, you're a good dude. You really are, and
you too, brother.
Thank you, and thank you for coming up here. Really appreciate it.
No problem, man. It's good to be up here.
Yeah, and Nevermore, thank you for joining here too tonight. I really appreciate it. You caught me off guard by joining. This is the first one here.
Yeah, I've listened to your chats before, but I was listening tonight, and I said, well, I reckon I can hop up there and maybe give these guys a little encouragement too.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Yeah, like everyone needs a good swift kick in the butt every now and then.
Exactly.
Sometimes a kick in the teeth.
And I'll tell you, Rod, where I live at, I live in a
Thank you, Barb.
pretty much a drinking community.
Yeah, same here.
Everybody around. I mean, it's a drinking community. And so for me, almost any function I go to around here, there's a lot of drinking going on there. And I can even go on to whatever it is, I can not drink. I know I don't have to drink to fit in. And if anybody asks me, do I want to drink, I can say no. And if they ask me why, I can tell them. But I do know that if it's up to me, if anybody offers me anything, I can say no or I can say yes, and I choose to say no. It's a choice you have to make every day. And it's hopefully I'll keep on making the right choice. You're trying to do it, for your little girl, and I got 2 little boys that need an uncle more than I need a drink.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a choice, and I'm not going to tell you. I would tell you it was easy, but I'd be lying to you. I wouldn't even tell you it's hypothetically easy, but it can be done, and you can do it. Brian can do it. Me and Terrence has done it. Hey, I'm sure there's a lot of people in this chat that have done it also, and but you got a lot of folks in here behind you. And I'm gonna hop off right now, but Rod, make sure you copy my phone number down before you go. It's in the chat that just we can see. It's in the private chat, so we don't have to let everybody know it.
Okay.
Now, don't give it out to a whole bunch of women now unless they're good looking women. and make sure if you give it to them, make sure they send you a picture with 2 fingers up, proving that they're real.
Yeah, I know how it goes.
But seriously, make sure you get my phone number. Terrence will get it too, so you'll have it. And
I appreciate it.
I'm gonna talk to you guys later, and I'm with you. I'm with you all the way through this. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you for joining me here tonight. I really appreciate it. And I want to interview you one day too, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
All right, looking forward to that.
Yes, sir. And just don't say that again.
Are you on IG by any chance or no?
I am on IG. Look for Irving.Cahoon.
Are you following Locksmith?
Huh?
Are you following Locksmith by any chance?
I am.
All right, I'll find you through there then.
Yeah, it's Irving.Cahoon _RART.
Okay.
Yeah, but I am on there. Now, of course, not everybody has done heard that. That wasn't in the private chat.
Oh, that's fine. It's Instagram.
Which that might be my real name, or it may not be my real name. I don't know. I hypothetically did not just dox myself, but I don't care. Everybody knows who I am anyway. If you go to my YouTube page, they know who I am because my name's on there, and also. But yeah, if y'all guys need me, and I am on IG, look me up on there. But if y'all need me, give me a call. And I'm going to say it now as I get off of here. Cat Eyes, behave yourself. You've done it all night tonight. Tomorrow night, I'm expecting it on the other streams that you're going to behave just like you have tonight. What do you think the chances of that is, Terrence and Rod?
I wouldn't keep my fingers crossed.
Very slim. Very slim.
Good night, guys. I love y'all. Love you, chat. Y'all be good.
Love
All
you
right,
too,
good night.
everyone. Have a good one, brother.
You too.
Yeah.
All right, Terrence, I think I'm gonna head out of here too, man.
Yeah, both too as well. Again, thank you, Rod. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, and thank everyone else in this chat, man. Thank you,
Yeah.
Fake Catcher.
And to everyone in the chat, Tech and Sammy is going live now. So if all you want to head over there and show them some support, go right ahead.
I don't think I have.
Yeah, OPE's live right now doing decoy calls. So if a lot of you, if all you want to head over there and show them some support, go ahead. I'm about to end this right now, so I don't go against them. Have a great night, everyone, and thank you for joining me here tonight. Really appreciate it. It means a lot. Thank you again.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Later, Barb.